Well, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla is poised to make history as the first Indian in space in 40 years. Shukla has been named the prime astronaut for the groundbreaking ISRO-NASA mission to the International Space Station. To date, Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma remains the only Indian to have ventured into space, accomplishing this feat during an Indo-Soviet mission in 1984. ISRO said 39-year-old Shukla, along with the 48-year-old Group Captain Prashant Balakrishnan Nayyar, have been selected for the Axiom-4 mission, a collaboration between India and the United States, that is. While Shukla is the primary astronaut, Nayyar serves as his backup, ready to step in if it is necessary. The mission underscores India's growing capabilities in space exploration, building on the legacy of Rakesh Sharma, the only Indian, as I mentioned, to have been in space till now. Shukla and Nayyar are amongst 4 Indians and Air Force officers shortlisted for India's first manned space mission, Gaganyaan, tentatively set for next year. Shubhanshu Shukla was born in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh on the 10th of October 1985. He is an alumnus of the National Defence Academy. He was commissioned on the 17th of June 2006 in the Indian Air Force's fighter stream. He is a fighter combat leader and test pilot with around 2,000 hours of flying experience. He has flown a variety of aircrafts, including the Sukhoi 30 MKI, the MiG-21, the MiG-29, the Dornier, the Hawk and the Jaguar as well. He will fly on the Axiom-4 flight using SpaceX rocket and Crew Dragon. He has undergone fighter combat leader courses from tactics and combat development establishments. We'll talk about this and what does this mean for India and its aspirations to be a space leader. Joining us on the show is Lieutenant General A.K. Bhatt, DG Indian Space Association. Also joining us on the show is Group Captain V.N. Jha, former Indian Air Force officer and Joint Director of DRDO. Mr. Ravi Kumar Gupta, DRDO scientist, also joins us on the show to talk more about this. Thank you, gentlemen, for being a part of this conversation. Group Captain Jha, I'll begin with you, sir. I hope you can hear me. Group Captain Jha?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, sir, this is great news. Well, you've been with us on every journey when it comes to space, when it comes to anything to do with space exploration and ISRO. And here we are, 40 years later. It was 1984, the fateful year, that India got to step into space through Mr. Sharma. It became a huge sensation. It's taken us 4 decades to get to this level at this point in time. But the good news is that, times have changed. 4 decades ago, it was Russia we were teaming up with. And this time, it's the Americans that we're teaming up with. Tells you a lot about India.
Well, thank you very much, Vinith. Yes, it is a great occasion and it's a great news for the 2 gentlemen who have been waiting in the flanks of ISRO for a fairly long time. And when a fighter pilot keeps on waiting without his aircraft, it's a bad scene. He doesn't love it. So anyway, now since these 2 names have come up there, always there is one is the main selectee, another is a standby. Like, in 1983 also we have seen Rakesh Sharma, Astronaut Rakesh Sharma the main, and Ravish Malhotra was, he was the standby there that time. And both of them had gone through the entire training at the Russian bases. And this time, these 4 gentlemen who have been earlier selected by ISRO, these 2 are now going for the NASA flight. They all have been trained on Gaganyaan, on the crew model of ISRO. So, that learning process may have to unlearn before they fly the Crew Dragon. And I'm not sure whether the Crew Dragon, they will be flying as an astronaut, as a pilot in the control, or they will be one of the scientists or the person who do the experimentations. They are being given different names there in that. So, like many of us, we fly in the Indian Air Force aircraft, the trainer version, wherein we go for joyride, main pilot is someone else. Of course, aerospace has been my specialty. I have flown many of these aircrafts in the capacity of the supernumerary crew. But that is how it all happens. Now, these 2 gentlemen have been selected. They will start going through the training of this. And remember, no one goes to International Air Force Station just for a joyride. If he has been selected, he will be assigned many of the jobs that he may have to carry out on behalf of the institutions whose experimentations are going on there in the International Space Station, or some other task. And of course, at any given time in the International Space Station or the Chinese Space Station, many projects keep on going, many experiments keep on going. Some of them are confidential. So all the gentlemen, they have to sign those bonds of non-disclosure of the confidentiality or the secrecy, what they see there in the International Space Station or what they do there. But it's a great news for the Indian Air Force that these two are going there. It's great news for the ISRO, because going is not a problem. Both Crew Dragon as well as Gaganyaan will be fully automated, and as the scientists will tell you. But when they come back, when they undock, when they deorbit and come back, there is a bit of involvement. The crew usually is in the loop with the automation, and that is where these people come in there. They have got a great skill to be implemented or involve themselves in the trajectory that the spacecraft comes back and hits the atmosphere during the re-entry. There is a bit of very skilled process involved there in that. A lot of parameters have to be maintained. That is where ISRO will be benefited by this, the NASA mission that Shubhanshu will be going through. So compliments to the officer who has been selected, compliments to ISRO who is going to learn by this. Of course, this is a part of the memorandum of understanding what PM Modi had signed when in last year when he had gone for the visit there. So compliments to India.
Let me also rope in General A.K. Bhatt into this conversation. General Bhatt, I hope you can hear me, sir. Thank you for joining us. General Bhatt?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Important point that has been made by Group Captain V.N. Jha as well, that going is all right, but it's the coming back that is important, considering that Sunita Williams has also been stuck in the International Space Station for quite some time. How critical is this mission for India and for this young gentleman, on whom the hopes of ISRO and perhaps the aspirations of India's space are riding?
So I should, my perception, what I feel is a stepping stone for ultimately an Indian crewed mission going, that is Gaganyaan, and thereafter our landing to the moon. This is one step forward in that. And in this, it is so good that in this NASA's mission of Axiom 4, we have one of our Gaganyaan 3s going. And whatever experience he gets from there will definitely add value to what we are going to do in the future. And of course, it will be a matter of national pride that after 40 years again, we have an astronaut going to space.
All right. Dr. Ram Srivastava, former scientist, ISRO, also joins us on the show. Dr. Srivastava, thank you for being here, sir. So your perception, Jai Hind, sir. So your perception and your reaction to this, monumental achievement by India at this point in time. Of course, the going part to the space station is still pending, but considering India's past and recent most successes when it comes to space exploration, we are quite confident that we will be trumping our own achievements that we've just had in the past.
Obviously, we are proud of this all event, particularly this is historical event for in the history of ISRO as well as India, because now the dreams of Vikram Sarabhai and other scientists, more than 17,000 scientists working day and night in the ISRO, it is going to be fulfilled. Actually speaking, such a mission is very, very important for future space program, because we are now committed to land over the moon, and for that we must have sufficient experience of zero gravity and performing so many experiments. Those experiments may be physiological experiment, they may be experiment of the mental health, not only that, biochemical, or any, so many other experiments are to be conducted, because to go to from Earth to outer space and to bear the escape velocity, where entire blood from the brain dragging out in the body, and 8 minutes are really that's critical minutes when somebody is going in the zero gravity space. So our astronauts, they have sufficient training for that, and I'm very much sure that new dreams will be open for Indian space science, and we will be able to achieve our goal. The very first thing, we must congratulate our ISRO management, our government, as well as the young scientists, as well as the Air Force personnel, because they are basically from Air Force, but they are now scientists, space scientists, and we salute them, we give them congratulations, and we pray God that their mission should be successful, and it will be successful, because we have taken all odds and even into account.
You're absolutely right. Mr. Gupta, challenges that you foresee in a mission like this, and the learnings that India can use to forge ahead in its space domain.
Yeah, of course, this is one of the very, very challenging tasks to go into space. My previous experts who have been talking, they have mentioned a number of, already mentioned the challenges and described them in detail. As the previous speaker was telling, when you go to the space and cross the barrier from the atmospheric barrier and enter the space, you have to, overcoming the gravity, the entire body blood goes down. That is one challenge. I mean, but I don't foresee any problem in that, because our pilots are among the best in the world. They have been trained like that. They already experienced, and of course the fighter pilot. So on that side, I don't see any problem. But in any case, going to space itself is a very challenging task. What can go wrong? I think we have umpteen number of examples having seen what can go wrong. But all these things, I think they are all well taken care of. And our science, now what is the outcome of it? The thing is that the space exploration, although it seems that definitely we have come a long way from the first space missions conducted by America and Russia way back about 70 years back, but matter of fact is that the space exploration, in my opinion, has just begun. It's a very, very totally unexplored territory where we are just entering. Most of this research has been conducted nowadays within the near space, around our space. And India has started a bit late, but we are catching up fast. So I think this particular mission, when Captain Shukla goes to space in a NASA mission, Axiom the vehicle, and conduct experiments in the International Space Station, it will add a volume of experience, and he will learn the intricacies. Theoretically, there are many things which can be learned and taught, but nothing on hands-on experience. So this valuable experience which our pilot will gain and come back as a trained astronaut, as a Gagan Yatri, not just a Gagan Yatri, but as a space scientist. So that will be very, very valuable in terms of knowledge he gains, in the experience he gains, the learning of the intricacies of how to handle different situations when you are in the zero gravity and operating these wonderful machines. Because what next? Now we have to, already the space market is almost more than $500 billion, the global market. And it is one of the fastest growing markets, about 7.5%. In our region, in the Asia Pacific region, it is growing at a rate of about 9.5% per annum. So, a lot of economic and commercial opportunities, but above all, a lot of opportunities in terms of science and technology in exploring the uncharted territories. This moon exploration, we have just begun. Moon is just the beginning. Today we are going to set up an international space station in a near Earth orbit. Maybe, but that will be another beginning. Next stage is just setting up a space station, permanent space station in moon, so that we can go to faraway planets. And the thing has just begun. I think it is a beginning, good beginning, and we have to catch up fast. So I thank our Honorable Prime Minister for taking this initiative, signing this agreement with the Americans, which will now result, culminate in sending our own person in International Space Station. It will be a quantum jump. I think if we had been doing this thing our own, it might have taken much longer time. But this will be a big jump in our capabilities.
Group Captain V.N. Jha, what does this also do for all those aspiring Air Force pilots, who have seen the ascent of Mr. Shukla here? Obviously that is another realm that needs to be bolstered. Now that's another aspiration that the Air Force is going to work upon.
Beneath, to be very frank, all AST pilots, they are known as the jewel in the crown for the Indian Air Force. But when Rakesh Sharma had gone to space, he was one of the cherished personality, and so remains even today. So that is one aspect of the glamour that the space travel has got. Now, I must tell you a few things of the difference of going to the space. When we go to the space just for the orbital exposure there, we remain in the orbit. That's the zero gravity, just now Mr. Gupta was telling you. That's the zero gravity, and what happens here, normally at Earth, our entire fluid is being pulled by 1g at the Earth's surface, and that 1g goes off in the orbital flight. So the moment we enter the orbit, thereafter there is no g forces working on our body. So what blood was getting pulled in the leg, now that comes back into the central system, that is now available for the heart, that goes into the skull, into the face. Face becomes a little bit fluffy, but that is something different. What I was trying to tell you is the orbital mission is the one where we have 0g. The moment we go for the moon, it may not be 0g, it will be microgravity, and so at the moon also we have got 1/6 of the gravity at the moon surface. So gravity will be there. So is the deep space mission. That unfortunately till now we the entire global community, we don't have much of the knowledge of the deep space travels. Deep space travel means if we go beyond the gravity of the Earth, deep into the space. I'm talking of the many of the astronomical distance that we go. So we haven't had that experience till now. Artemis is the one in which we will be going beyond the moon into a trajectory, and then we'll be landing onto the moon. So that is one. And subsequently, when we go for the Mangalyaan, as in when it goes, so there will be another Mars mission. So that is when the people will be going to the deep space mission. Those are the very entirely different situations we don't have much of the experience of. So these are the few intricacies of the different exposures, but all the same. The moment we have crossover from our atmosphere, now we are dependent entirely onto the resources that we carry with us. Sunita William and the other gentlemen have gone. They are staying right now with the ISS. ISS has got loads of provisions, consumables. Oxygen is there, water is there, food is there. So they are well stocked there right now. As and when another flight of either SpaceX or a Boeing goes there to bring them back, or the same crew model what is stuck right now there with the problems, if that is rectified, in case if they are able to come in that would be taking a chance, of course. So that is the one way of coming back. So different types of space exposures are there, and all these have got different implications. But the bottom line is that, space science is something, it's a rocket science, you can call it space science. There are many things which is unknown even now. It has got a very delicate balance to be kept. If you are unable to achieve the orbital velocity, the object will come back to the Earth. If you achieve the relative velocity, which is more than 7.6 kilometers per second or so, you may not be able to go to the space station, international space station. So like that, there are many other things. And to worse of that, today there is a lot of space debris which make the challenges of survival in the space very, very different. And besides all this, we have got the radiations which are coming up there, solar flares. Just a month back, we had a very rough solar flares. Those things had come there. So we are facing all those challenges there up in the space. But all the same, these AST pilots, usually these pilots are trained into all types of aircraft. Even if they are from the background of a fighter stream, they are trained and they fly the transport aircraft, they fly the helicopters as well. So they are they have got the mastery of all types of aircraft. They are highly trained aircrew. And again, I repeat, just for sake of reminding the viewers, that the pilots themselves have got very little role to play during these space missions, either going or coming back. Entire thing is absolutely automated. It is only if something goes wrong in the automation or some system has malfunction where the individual have to take back the controls of it, the pilot, the astronaut is kept in the loop of the automation. That is where all they come, and that is what they all will be training out there. Training will also involve the task that Shukla will be going to perform that ISS. I told you, no one goes for free. If he is going there, he will be assigned some task there to perform. So all those things are there, and it's a lovely mission. It's a lovely feeling. Right now, people spend millions of dollars just to go for a suborbital flight, either the Blue Origin or someone else. They spend few seconds and then they come back. So it's a very glamorous, exciting thing that it is there, and I'm sure India and ISRO will be benefited with all this, and it's a huge opportune moment for Indian Air Force, ISRO, and India. Compliments for all this.
All right, Mr. Gupta, do you concur with what Group Captain V.N. Jha has said? And obviously, it's a big moment for us. It's come after 40 years, and the fact of the matter is that when it comes to space, you need these events for not only the progress that's associated with the space sector, but also the marketability of it.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. The advantages we will getting out of it, it's not just in terms of space science. Going to space, outer space, and going to space stations, and then later on to the moon, it involves so many things, which is not just science, it is also the total management of its entire big project, and managing the flight process, bringing them back. It's even the mega system of systems. And therefore, I think that this particular opportunity India is getting by making our own pilot a crew of this particular mission. I think this is a grand opportunity, and it will bring back lots and lots of benefits for our nation, both in terms of science, in terms of future space missions, and in terms of both commercial and scientific opportunities, which are unlimited. See, we have just, as I said, we have just begun to explore the space. And as Captain Jha was telling, that in future we have to go into the deep space mission. So deep space mission, which is the world has yet to explore. The science in this direction is progressing very fast, and as we have faster and faster means of transportation in the space, I think the day is not far off when we will be venturing into even beyond our solar system. So India will be catching up faster, much faster. This particular mission will be a very, very significant milestone in our India's journey towards in the process of learning and in the process of commanding the space science technology.
All right,
in future.
All right, so we've run out of time, but like I said again, congratulations to everyone. It's a big achievement, a big moment for our space exploration ambitions and aspirations.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.